Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Traxxas channel. Thank you for tuning in. And what you see here is, of course, the Traxxas TRX4-M. Traxxas' latest addition to their lineup. It is a 1/18th, well, 1/18th, debatable, but it's a small little scaler slash crawler. And in this video I'm going to tell you what I think. I know you were waiting for me to tell you what I think about this car. Well, maybe you weren't, but at least it'll be an independent, unbiased review. I bought the car with my own money. And yeah, I'm gonna show you what you get for your money, what I think about the car, and how does it stack up to, for instance, the Axial 124 scale cars. I have those as well. Let's get into it. Let's see what this Traxxas TRX4-M is all about. Here we go.
You serious?
Alrighty, let's start with a quick unboxing. And okay, this is the box. And Traxxas always makes nice box art in my humble opinion. We've got our Bronco in blue here. Mine is white, but this is the blue version. There are, as you probably know, there are lots of colors. Check out the link in the description down below. I've bought mine from Top RC in the Netherlands. There's a link to them in the description. This video is not sponsored. I bought this car with my own money. Alright, so TRX4, Bronco, scale and trail crawler, 1/18 scale Traxxas. Okie dokie. Over here we see actual size. Okay, so, well, that's how big the car is gonna be. And we see a layout of the chassis and its electronics. At the front, a servo, which we'll see, a motor, then a space for your battery, and an integrated ESC and receiver. That's a bit of a shame, really. To be completely honest, I would have very much liked to have seen a separate receiver. As most of you also have, I've got a nice upgraded transmitter. I would have liked to have been able to use that on this car, but oh well. Okay, what else? 2S LiPo battery and USB charger included, should be included. One LiPo, one driving LiPo, and factory installed LED lights in the bumper. There's optional extra lights. And on the other side of the box, the red version. 180 euros, that's what I paid. Again, this video is not sponsored at all. Alright, let's see what's in this here box. Some paperwork and a few tools. Shouldn't be a whole lot of tools required for the car. And, well, paperwork and probably some decals. Then an upside down car. So this is what the packaging will be like. We've got our radio, a standard fare radio from Traxxas, probably. Yeah, a TQ, not a TQI radio, and we got steering and throttle obviously, and we got a set button for the menu and a steering trim, and that's it. You don't need anything else, but it'll do just fine. These radios aren't bad at all, even though they are pretty cheap. Okay, we've got a LiPo over here. Okay, so it's a 750 milliamp hour 2S LiPo with a proprietary and non-standard, regrettably, connector. Yeah, so you're kinda, as long as you don't change out connectors on the car and your LiPos, you're stuck with this proprietary connector. Weird connector. Alright, yeah, it is what it is, and you knew that in advance. At least I did. And we get ourselves a charger, a USB charger for those kinds of LiPos. And the car itself, I'll tell you what, at least the packaging is excellent. And okie dokie. Yeah, so we got our body shell, which is then again wrapped in a little bit of plastic here. Let's get rid of that. And yeah, as you can tell, I've got the white one. It's available in red, several blue colors, black, white obviously, and probably also yellow, and maybe by the time you're watching this video in more colors. Traxxas tends to not release all the available colors in one go. And okay, so what do you think? White? I kinda like it. I've got the 1/10 scale Bronco as well, right? The TRX4, not the M. And that one I've got in black. This, yeah, the only thing that's kind of a little bit missing is an interior. That makes this car look a whole lot less scale, if you will. But pretty nice. Black wheels, no chrome at all. It looks pretty sophisticated. Alright, couple of quick notes before we get a close-up look at the car. The light posts, they are fine, but obviously overpriced. That's the price we pay for proprietary connectors, right? And it's basically despicable, in my humble opinion, of Traxxas to use a proprietary connector like this. There is no real need. There was no need at all to use a proprietary connector. It's simply a way of locking you into Traxxas lipos. And that's, well, that's not really a hobby crate kind of line of thinking, in my humble opinion. Oh well. And this is also, by the time of shooting this video, the only charger for this connector. Hopefully, and that might depend on whether these cars, the TRX4-Ms, are popular, there will be better chargers. Multiple LiPo chargers or faster chargers, but yeah, and maybe not over USB, but that'd be very nice. I kind of suspect that they will release a better charger if these cars are popular. And again, these radios are fine. You need 4 AA's for them, and those aren't included. Other than that, everything comes in the box that you need to drive this car. Alright, so sorry if you don't like negative things in review videos like this, but I have to call Traxxas out on that connector thing. And yes, there are other cars also have proprietary connectors, I know, but at least in those cars you can easily change them out to other. Oh well, okay, so scalar. The outside of this car looks very nice, in my humble opinion. It even has mirrors and windshield wipers, and there's a lot of details on the outside of this car. Very, very nice, I appreciate that. I've also driven the car extensively by now and crashed it a whole lot as well. Now it's a light car, so it won't damage itself very quickly, so that's nice. And if they would have added, for instance, more scale details and an interior, it would have been heavier, and that would have hurt probably its performance, and it would have damaged itself sooner than later. One of the first things that struck me about this car is that it looks, the dimensions look a little bit off. It seems a little too narrow for its length. Is it just me? I've never seen this car in real life, but I've seen a lot of videos on the real Bronco. Again, it looks a little bit narrow for its length. Yeah, but not comically so. You don't see any body clips. I very, very much appreciate that. Very, very nice. Just like the big 1/10 scale Bronco, it has clips. One clip over here and one clip over here. And you can find those without looking at them. You simply press them out and then the body simply falls off. Excellent. I love it, I love it. Yeah, so what can I tell you about the rest of the body? Yeah, there's a whole lot of plastic reinforcement for that Lexan. Is it Lexan, actually? It actually looks semi-hard. No, it's not Lexan. Huh. Okay. Surprising, actually. It's hard plastic. Okay, and it's screwed together out of several panels. For instance, the roof. You should be able to take the roof off. probably, yeah. That opens up possibilities, but especially the mounting setup for the body, click, that's it. How easy is that? And it's especially nice that this is easy, because you have to take off the body to hook up the battery. There's no on-off switch, or at least I haven't seen one, but I don't think there's an on-off switch. Alright, and here is that chassis again, front to back. So we've got a steering lipo over here. Here we've got a center mounted motor, brushed motor obviously. Here is our lipo, which is held in with a rubber strap. And that works just fine. To be completely honest, the lipo Traxxas supplies with the car is fine. You get a long driving time out of this lipo. Over here we've got a speed controller combined with a receiver. Yeah, and fine, no problem at all. However, apart from this connector, there's one other complaint I have with this car, and that's the shocks. First of all, they aren't oil filled. I had kinda hoped 1/18 scale to come with oil-filled shocks. I haven't watched any of the other reviews to, well, keep an unbiased view of this car. But yeah, I was kind of hoping that the shocks would be oil-filled, and they are not. Also, they are sticky. After it has sit for like an hour, these shocks will be sticky. Can I show that? Let's try. Okay, they aren't sticky now. No. Okay, so, but again, if it has sat on the shelf for an hour or two, these shocks will be sticky. So, not oil filled, and that kind of makes the car wiggle around a little bit while driving. Now, is that a problem? Yeah, it is a scaler, right? So, in my humble opinion, it should drive scale-like. If you shoot a video of this car down low, it should look like a real car, but the suspension setup gives it away. Definitely. This. Actually, by the way, these tires, no infill, no foam inserts in the tires, but that's fine. These tires are actually your shock absorbers. And yeah, so that works out pretty okay. And them not having foam inserts makes them grippy as well. It depends a little bit on where you drive. I generally don't have stone surfaces to drive my scalers on, or crawlers on. But yeah, in sand and such, these provide a whole lot of grip. Yeah, so let's see. What more can I tell you about this? Yeah, the entire suspension and link setup is all plastic. The axles are plastic, which is fine. Fine by me. Especially if you were to drive this car over stones. Plastic kind of slides over stones rather than maybe steel and such. So yeah, it probably also keeps the car relatively inexpensive. Maybe, I don't know. There are by now all kinds of upgrades like aluminium links and displayed in aluminium drive shafts, and better shocks. I will be upgrading my shocks, definitely. And you've got weights, added weight. And I'm actually not completely sure whether this car needs much of anything. It performs pretty nicely. Yeah, speaking of, let's try this car in a couple of situations up against the Axial 24 scale scalers. Here we go. So guys, that was a bit of driving with both the TRX4-M and the SCX24 from Axial. So, what do you think? What was your impression? What were your impressions of these cars driving head to head? I'll tell you what I think about these cars from the video and other driving I've done with these cars. My brother also has this car, by the way, and we've been driving both of the cars last weekend. I'll say, apart from the obvious size difference, there's not a whole lot between these cars somehow. Yeah, some things the Traxxas is definitely better at when traversing plant life obstacles. The added weight, the higher weight of the Traxxas is a benefit. Probably also the wider tires. But on other obstacles, the lighter weight of the Axial is a benefit. For instance, on loose sand. And what is the actual weight difference? I'd say the Traxxas is approximately twice as heavy. Also, by the way, the driving time is longer, significantly longer. I haven't really kept tabs on driving time, as you never drive all the time, right, with these kinds of cars. But definitely the battery in the Axial runs out sooner than on the Traxxas. Also, the Axial is a lot noisier. You could definitely hear that, right, from the driving footage. Yeah, one more driving I want to show you, and that's this. So this is not an obstacle that's difficult for either of these two cars, as you can see, but the Traxxas definitely looks more believable, scale-like, if you will. Right, the Axial hops around a lot more. Yeah, especially the suspension on the Traxxas works out better, even though it wiggles around a little as well. The Axial definitely looks more comical, if you will. Yeah. Obviously there are other SCX24 models, right? If you have other experiences with those, let me know in the comment section below. I'm actually interested in the Gladiator version, for instance. Yeah. Okay, so last thing in this video, am I happy with my purchase? I obviously paid with my own money for both of these cars. The Traxxas, yes, I am very happy. The only real downsides for me is no interior. Maybe I'll get some tanned windows, darker windows, so it's not as apparent that there's no interior. Obviously the Axial also doesn't have an interior. And okay, the proprietary lipos I definitely don't like at all. Yeah, that really sucks. Yeah. Yeah, other than that, I like the looks of this car. It's a lot more scale-like in looks than the Axial. And it drives well. So I've actually ordered a couple of upgrades like wheel weights and such for this car, but it doesn't really need a whole lot. Not really. It drives pretty nicely. Still, this car is good at some things that this car isn't, and vice versa. But I'm pretty happy with the performance of this Traxxas. And that's it. So if you clicked this video wondering if your money would be well spent on this Traxxas TRX4-M, I'd say go for it. It's also more expensive than the Axial. Is it more fun? No. But I'm still happy with it, and I think it's worth your money. So that's it. That's my verdict on the Traxxas TRX4-M. It's worth it. My verdict is buy it. And okay, so if you're left with questions, hit me up or comment down below. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video. Bye bye.